Hi dear, you're welcome to Yvonne Winifred UG. In this video this time around, we are making this top. It is a one shoulder top, and that is how it looks like from the back and from the front, as you are seeing in this picture. So don't forget to subscribe if you are new, and if you are returning, I thank you so much and I appreciate you so much. So let's start the cutting. This is my work piece today, and I have my front and the back piece. Both are folded into two according to the largest circumference that I'm working with this time around, which is the hip measurement divided by 4 inches. So everything is folded into two, as you see. And to start off, the front is smaller than the back because the back has that zipper allowance there of 3/4 of an inch. So from the top here, I'm just going to mark a line that is 1/2 an inch from the top, and I'll rule out that line, and that line will be the shoulder line, and I will take all the other measurements from that shoulder line. And that 1/2 an inch will even work as the joining allowance at the shoulder. So now at the shoulder line, first and foremost, I'm going to mark the shoulder measurement divided by 2. So plus 1/2 an inch for joining allowance at the armhole or at the sleeve. So from that, I go down by 8 inches to get my armhole line, which is there. It is 8 inches. Again, from the shoulder line, I go down by 9 inches for my bust line, and then 16.5 inches still from the shoulder line for the waist line, and then the hemline will work as the hip line. That is where I'll mark my hip measurement, because the top goes up to kind of close to the hip line. So now again up here, I'm going to mark my neckline width. So the neckline depth, I will consider it later. So now coming back to this armhole line, I'm slanting my shoulder by 1 inch. So I've marked 1 inch there, and that 1 inch shoulder slant, I connect it to where the neck width stopped, and I just add the other 1/2 an inch in a slanted way here at the shoulder, just like that, and that is the shoulder joining. So again, from what I've remained with at the armhole length, I mark the midpoint, and from the midpoint I move in by 1/2 an inch, then carve out my armhole. Again, from that midpoint I carve out the back armhole. So the other first one was the front armhole. So now at the bust line, I divide my bust measurement by 4 inches, and whatever I get, I add 2.5 inches for that and seam allowances. I do the same even at the waistline, and then connect those 2 points. And then at the bottom, or at the hemline of this top, down there, as you see, I'm just going to divide my hip measurement by 4 inches, again plus 1/2 an inch for that, and the 2 inches as seam allowances, since I'll be adding some lining. I'll be using linings. So I just connect down to where my measurement has stopped, and then cut out starting from the back markings first. So for my back, since there will be a zipper at the back and I have a zipper allowance, I just divide it into 2 so that I align all my pieces just the way they will be. So now I have to align them accordingly, considering that zipper allowance, as you see. So they are overlapping. So now I bring my front piece, I align it over the back pieces, and at this point I have to consider where I want my one shoulder to be. So after choosing where I want the side where I want the one shoulder to be, so from the center front I mark the neck width that I'm using of 3.5 inches, and from that 3.5 inches I come back still at the center front in the middle here, and I determine how I want my where I want my shoulder, where I want the neckline to pass. So I considered 5 inches. So you can go ahead and consider maybe 8 or 6, even 7, where you want according to you. So I considered 5 inches, and on top here where my armhole is, I moved up by 1 inch, but I realized I wouldn't have cut the armhole before marking out this opening of the one shoulder that I want to consider. So from that point, I dotted how I want my one shoulder to look like, and after confirming how I want it to be, I just marked out that line, and I'll just be cutting out just like that. Remember, we are cutting on both the front and the back pieces. So that's what I have now, and it is looking like that. Remember, I'm cutting while the pieces are onto the right side, not onto the wrong side. I cut them as they were facing the right side. So now that's the back, those the 2 back pieces, and then the other one is the front piece. So guys, I've also gone ahead and cut out my linings. So I just duplicated exactly the main pieces, and now I have the linings. I also went ahead and cut out a sleeve, one sleeve, and its length is up to the elbow. So I did that off camera, and now this is how I will be sewing. Let me show you. So I'll just join the facing and the main piece, right sides facing each other, and this part also. If you don't want to move up by that 1 inch at the armhole, you can just leave it out and consider the rest. So I'll join the sides also, and then afterwards I won't join where the sleeve will be and the shoulder. I'll leave that first, and after all the joinings I'll mark where my darts will be, and I'll take in my darts. So I'll do that even for the back, just like that. So this is the back, these are the back pieces as you see. So again, I'll just sew along in the center back and the neckline. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to Yvonne Winifred UG. So after some minutes, this is how it looks like after joining the main piece and the linings. That is the front, and this is the back. So now I'm just going to take it, this is the back. Let me first align everything together. Remember, there's that overlap of the zip allowance, you have to consider it. Then this is the front, and this is the right side. So I'm just going to take my front and the back piece at the side where the sleeve will be, and then join the shoulders by 1/2 inch like that. And I'm here at the sewing machine. I've taken in my darts, guys, as you see. Those are my darts, the front darts, and this is the back. I've taken in the back dart as you see there, and I'm so sure you know how to take in those darts. Remember, there is the zip allowance at the center back there. So when you're determining your dart placement, you have to consider that, and that is how it looks like. but I think it is very best to consider the princess dart when making such a design. That's what I realized after making this design, guys. It would have been great, it would have come out great if I consider the princess dart or princess dart bust here. So I also joined the sleeve, I joined the shoulders, I hemmed my sleeve, and now I'm just remaining to I also added the zipper at the back, as you see there. And after adding the zipper, guys, there was this, that thing that you've seen there. They are not, aligning. I don't know why. If you know, please comment below. So I think just because of, adding that lining at that center back or the zipper allowance, I wouldn't have sewn that lining piece before joining the zipper. That's why they are not aligning at the hemline. So I'm just going to, consider my measurements, and then I'll just take in my sides. And after taking in the sides, guys, I'll just go ahead and align the bottom and hem the bottom very well and neatly. So this is me aligning everything together so that I'll take in the sides, and after taking the sides, I'll just hem the bottom and come out with this beautiful blouse. This is how it looks like, guys. This is the final product, the final piece. This is my top. I also went ahead and at the sides I considered some slits. Those slits are 3 inches in length. So you can go ahead and add a stripe there, or a strip, if you don't want that opening. And that is how the blouse looks like, and this is me rocking it. So don't forget to subscribe. See you.